Good morning, and welcome to Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Oh my gosh, guys, I have missed you so much, and I just want to thank you for joining us today. It is a beautiful, wonderful Tuesday on the island of Tobago, and we are so privileged to have you. Now, I am your host. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I am JW Moore, also known as JSO, and I will be taking you through a wonderful program today. Remember, Brunch is that type of show that we seek to really empower, we seek to educate, and we seek to inform you on anything and everything in the Tobago space. And one of the things that we do on Brunch also is we highlight our trailblazers, our pioneers, our icons. We take the time to recognize what makes us great as an island and by extension as a country. And good morning to our sister Isle. Good morning to Trinidad. Good morning to the Caribbean. Good morning to the world. And we are so privileged to have this platform that we can really showcase what we do on Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. A pleasant good morning to my technical crew. Good morning to my very good friend and sister, Candice Jackson, who went before me. Good morning, Tobago. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and taking pleasure in what we have to offer on Tobago Updates Television. So we have our segments. I'm going to get into that just a little bit with you guys. Our first segment, of course, is the Good Stuff segment. And Good Stuff seeks to highlight the sons and daughters who are doing positive things and impacting the world and humanity. So I first go to the news day. And this is really interesting. Blue Food Festival is upon us. And so there is a buzz all over Tobago about this year's celebrations. Tobago Blue Food Festival marks a silver jubilee on Sunday. The Tobago Blue Food Festival commemorates its silver jubilee on Sunday at the Bloody Bay Recreation Ground. The village of Lansfamy, Palatavere, and Bloody Bay started the event in 1998 to celebrate the versatility of the dasheen. Since then, the festival has become a staple on Tobago's cultural calendar, attracting hundreds of people annually to Bloody Bay. Tobago Festivals Commission CEO John Arnold said the villagers that pioneered the event and the Tobagonians, by extension, should indeed be proud. So you guys need to check that out in the Newsday. Blue food, you know, it's a staple. It's even more than that. It's historic. You know, it bears so much resonance with us as the Tobagonian people. So you guys need to check out the Newsday. You need to check out the event. Look it up, get involved. Okay, next we go to The Guardian. Brenda makes a splash in soap making. So this is really interesting. A self-taught chemist, a professional soap maker, and client-focused service professional, Brenda Guiton Batiste is a businesswoman and entrepreneur making a splash in the soap making industry. Although she spends her days performing customer service functions at her full-time job, she uncovered her passion for crafting exciting, beautiful, and aromatic soaps in 2018, which she has now built into her own small business. You guys need to check this out. I told you our sons and daughters are doing wonderful things, and Brenda is no exception. And we need to really highlight the positives in our society today. Next, we go to the Daily Express. Tuco celebrates Calypso History Month. An audible smile accompanied by that optimistic summation from Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization, or TUCO, Vice President Ross Commander Steve Pascal, at the start of Calypso History Month last week. Pascal pronounced his pleasure in the emergence of prolific young talents in the genre, like the impressive 9-year-old Zachary Ransom and 7-year-old Zayden Darius, both of whom, he says, are already securing Calypso's future. And indeed, I agree, Calypso is in wonderful hands. We have prolific writers coming out, singers, performers, artists, creatives, and it's definitely in good hands. All right, so that's basically what I have to tell you in the good stuff. We have so much happening today. And one of the things that I love about this show is because it endeavors to reach, so many various sectors. It's like a cross-section of persons that we reach. And so our segments speak to that. So first we have, of course, our Life Diaries. Now, my guest for Life Diaries is Dr. Elton Bob. And if I had to really go through with a fine-tooth comb all of the things that Dr. Bob has done for the island of Tobago, I would be here all day. So I would try my best to touch on everything. He is my first guest, and I'm very privileged to have him. That is for our Life Diaries segment. Also, we have Eye on Bago. So you guys stay with me. So first it was our Life Diaries, and now we're on Eye on Bago. Marcelin Ned joins us of Marcelin Ned and Associates. Riches Jewels of the Niles. That is the name of her carnival presentation for this year. And we're just going to talk with Marcelin a bit. She's a stalwart in the carnival industry and has been doing this for many years. Also, our Agro Corner is up today. Janice Kirk, research. What's going on with my tongue today? It's like so many tongue twisters. Please forgive me. Fisheries Research Officer, Division of Agriculture, Janice Kirk is here. And, she's going to be bringing just some updates from the department. And also, Devon Seals is carded to join us, Marketing Manager of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Association. And celebrating Calypso History Month is something that is also a buzz in our cultural space, and we're going to talk with Devon, who is so wonderful. He has been to the Calypso Monarch Finals so many times, and he is really the right person to bring us into this conversation. So we are going to take a break. We're going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. So you guys go ahead, get seated, get comfortable, and join me when we return with Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.
25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is a brunch-style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
We are going on a new journey. Tobago now has its very own carnival.
She like loud music and
Platinum touch.
yeah.
But this place so boring, you know. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes?
Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, I was just having such a delightful conversation this morning with my first guest. And you know, the Tobago space is so small. We actually had a conversation and realized, oh my gosh, the families are kind of like intertwined, and like we know the parents and we have the lineage, and everybody, you know, is like on the same length and breadth of Tobago. And I'm going to introduce to you my first guest. Dr. Elton Bob joins us this morning, former chief administrator out of the Tobago House of Assembly. But he's so much more than that. He's a pastor, he's a composer. You know, I often think of him as a life coach because of the types of conversations that we have. And we're going to delve in just a bit this morning, as much as we can. So, Uncle Elton, good morning to you.
Good morning, JW. I like
yes.
Thank you. Good morning.
So much.
It's a pleasure to be in your company, and certainly you reminisce so much about your father, who I grew up as a smaller brother to. I've been in Lansome, he been in Palsavia, a part of the culture, as you know, for a long time. A very, very, very good teacher, musician. I certainly respected him a lot, and may his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
And get the impression that you're following along his footsteps.
I am trying my best.
Yes.
I'm going to go where it leads.
Yes, by God's grace.
By God's grace.
Yes.
So I'm not going to take it and put it on the back burner anymore. I believe that this is his way of speaking through me.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to do that, just that.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me. Oh my gosh, you've done so much. It's like over 41 years of service.
Yes.
Where did it start for you?
I started, let me start by telling you, I never passed common entrance.
Okay.
And I started by going to Hospitality Institute. I am a trained waiter barman. I started there.
Yeah.
And my first place of work was at Annesville Hotel. I started in Annesville Hotel in 1969. And from there, I joined the police service on the 15th of September, 1969. I served in the service at various levels until 1980. When I left, 1980, I left because I graduated with a degree in management studies from the University of the West Indies. I've always worked on study, never got any time off to do anything. I studied, and at the time, the police service convinced me that management was not one of the things that they needed at the time. And because some of my specialty was in agricultural economics, I had all my service transferred to the public service. So I never lost anything. I went across to the Ministry of Agriculture in Trinidad in 1980 and served there for several years.
Right.
Yes.
You know, it's an amazing journey. I feel like you're taking me on a journey with you, because we were talking before you came and got mic'd, and we were alluding to the fact that so many of our sons and daughters are actually trailblazers, we're actually pioneers in whichever field. And recognizing is something that we still need. I mean, we're getting there. The narrative is changing, but we still need work in recognizing the persons that make us great, that put us on the world stage and on the map.
Yes.
Yeah. And so with education, you know, I was looking at so many things that you have done. Economics keeps popping up.
Yes.
Tell us about LaSalle University, where you studied.
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I did that when online training and online school was just coming into vogue. I was right here in Tobago, right? I certainly went to the United States for part of that training. And I did most of the core courses right here in Tobago, right? All the schooling that was required online. And it was at a time when we were looking at the economic development of Tobago. And I must say good morning to Dr. Vaness James, who is a friend of mine, who certainly is my mentor by way of agriculture, by way of economics. So at the time, they were looking at the whole question at the CDP, the building, they were there. They were looking at that whole question of coming up with a comprehensive development plan. That's the first plan for Tobago. And in it, I saw the opportunity to do some postgraduate work by way of the thesis. Looking at Northeast versus Southwest Tobago and the whole question of poverty and well-being and economic development. That was my dissertation at the PhD level.
Yeah, and you know, I actually love the fact that it's not just one layer with you.
No.
You're involved in so many other spheres.
Yes.
And your family, you know, we talked about that. Oh my gosh, Kenneth Bob, Early Bob Lewis. Oh my gosh, Beulah Bob, you know. And it's like, and I saw your mom the other day. I was there with my daughter, and she just came out and started talking to us. And I'm saying, oh my gosh.
Yes.
I loved it so much.
Yeah, my mother, and good morning, Beryl Bob, my mother. She has been the source of my inspiration for these 73 years.
Yes.
I'm saying that very, very passionately this morning. My mother has been my source of inspiration.
Yeah.
Yes. And as you know, she's 97 years old. Morning, mommy. And she still sits at that piano and plays some music and goes to church on a Saturday. She's still very, very active.
Yeah.
Amen. But she certainly brought us up in the fear and admonition of God. And as I was saying to you earlier, my parents had 8 children. I was the second of the 8. And I'm the only one who went to the Methodist religion. She took me when I was born into the Methodist church. So now I was saying to you earlier, my foundation is in Methodism.
Yes.
Right? I'm now a Methodist minister. African Methodist Episcopal is AME, which is Methodist. I am Methodist. And I'm proud to say that.
And tell us just a bit about the history. You were giving me a brief history on the church, the beginnings.
Yes. It was in 1787 in the United States of America when the slaves were freed, right? Came out of bondage, and they loved the African way, the Methodist way of doing things.
Yes.
So they found themselves in a church in Philadelphia in 1787, and they were actually on their knees one Sunday morning when the pastors of the church, who did not have the same pigmentation as they had, told them, no, you can't worship in at the front of the church this hour of the morning. They told that minister, or those ministers, wait until we finish prayer. We love this Methodism. We love your way of worship. We love how you do things. So give us a little chance to say something to our God. They said, no, you've got to leave now. So they left and they formed their own version of Methodism, right? And called themselves Methodist Church. But soon they had to argue legally not to worship in the full name of the Methodist Church. So they actually call themselves African Methodist Episcopal. African because they came out of the slave experience. Methodist because they did and we still follow the Methodist tradition. Episcopal because we are governed by bishops.
Yes.
Okay? And certainly we came out of racism, but we practice no racism. Let me give an example.
Yes.
One of our bishops, early bishops, Paul Quinn, was born in Calcutta, India. And in the 1800s, he was one of the major pioneers for spreading the gospel of African Methodism throughout the United States of America. Amidst malaria, amidst all the other things that would have confronted him. So we practice no racism. And we're saying whosoever will be a part of the Methodist fraternity. We're in India. We are all over Asia. We have been spreading far and wide. We are part of the Methodist fraternity.
Yeah. And so your journey took you there as a pastor. So you're now a pastor.
Yes, I'm a pastor, and of course I am what do you call the presiding elder.
Right.
We have 8 churches in Trinidad and Tobago and 1 in Grenada. I supervise those churches. In other words, I'm responsible for ensuring that the pastor do what they're supposed to do.
Definitely.
I travel around a lot doing those things.
And you know, like I said, there are so many layers. We may not have time to uncover everything, but we will.
You have to invite me back.
Yeah, you have to come back in order for us to do
that.
I
don't have a problem with that at all. Yes.
Tell us about your stint as chief administrator in the THA.
Right. I came to Tobago in 1994, I think it was. And when I came as the director of planning, Tobago House of Assembly. I've subsequently promoted to the position of administrator. I had a long 5 years and 2 months vacation from the Tobago House of Assembly for reasons which we don't have to discuss this morning. But having returned from that hiatus in the wilderness, I was appointed the chief administrator, Tobago House of Assembly. A very, very rewarding experience because, as you're well aware, my responsibility would be for all the other administrators and the divisions because the chief administrator is the accounting officer in the Tobago House of Assembly. I worked with the Honorable Orville London over that period of time, and I retired in 2010 when I got to that retirement age. He asked me to return, and I did. And I came back to implement what was the comprehensive economic development plan for Tobago. So I did that for another 5 years, after which I'm fully retired from that aspect of public service life.
Right. And something that was really interesting, project cycle management. Just tell us a bit about that and what it entails.
Okay. Project cycle management involves several facets, from idea generation, if you will. And then, of course, you start to do your sketching for this particular project. Then you, of course, bring the project into a concise document with what background, the project, the objectives, the implementation, targets and time frames, the implementation schedule, etc. And after that, you must have post-implementation evaluation. So you must look even after that project has been implemented to ensure that the modalities that you would have set out at the onset were properly met, and if not, what could you do better at the next stage or on another occasion when you are implementing a project.
And you know, the thing about it, implementation comes only after you have a proper plan.
Precisely.
Yeah, and
Precisely.
that's what I get. That's what I get from listening to you, because there's certain words that govern the conversation. So it's economics.
Yes.
It's planning.
Yes.
You know, and these are the things that we really wanted to delve into. Lecturing at the University of the West Indies.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You did so many things.
I did.
Tell us a bit about
business.
that.
I taught Caribbean business and environment for about 10 or 12 years at the university. I did it both face-to-face and I did it through the online program. Caribbean business environment is a subject that certainly draws people into identifying opportunities for businesses in the Caribbean. So in addition to teaching them the basics of economics, you also point them to some of the opportunities which exist for getting into business rather than only looking to government to give them a job. I also taught international trade, for example, at the Arthur Lockjack School of Business. And that is certainly letting the postgraduates know about trade and all its variables, you know, trade and blocks and international competitiveness and the whole question of money, right? The Bretton Woods Convention and how fixed and floating exchange rates are derived and actualized. Those are some of the areas that I would have certainly taught, right? But what gives me a lot of pleasure in having taught those both courses, I had the opportunity to let both undergraduates and postgraduate students know that this is our region. This is our what you call the CARICOM and whatever other variant there is of the name. And there are opportunities here for investment. Let me give you one example. I hope I'm not going too fast.
Yeah, we'll take a break, but give me the idea first.
For example, I've been saying to the postgraduate students for a lot of years, there are opportunities coming up for joint venturing. Look at what is happening in Guyana now. The oil boom is certainly mushrooming in Guyana. And I said to them, by way of hypothetical example, I say, here we have come out of a lot of agriculture activities in Trinidad and Tobago. There are a lot of farmers in Trinidad whose tractors and whose machinery might be lying idle. There might be the infrastructure things that would have been taking place in the past that is happening now. What better way is there to start to talk about an actualized joint venture with places like Guyana when we can provide the things that we have the competitive advantage in? They obviously have another component, and we come together both to develop ourselves, develop both countries, and by extension, the multiply effect would cause us to be able to develop the region.
Yes.
So I taught subjects from that perspective.
Developing the region. I love what you said there. We're going to take a break. Like I said, there's so much to talk about. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. But before we do that, guys, there's a question that I want to ask you. Our trivia question for today. Now, there is a dance, a world-renowned dance, as a matter of fact, that was invented, created right here in Tobago. What is the name of that dance? We're gonna go for a break. This is a good one. You guys should get it. This is a good one. We're gonna be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago.
your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, I had such a wonderful conversation before the break. And like I said, if I had to speak on everything that this gentleman has done, we would not leave here today. It's quite a lot and quite a bit to uncover. But we're going to delve in as much as we can. So, Dr. Bob, welcome back.
Thank you.
And, you know, administrator, you have done so many things.
Yes.
Administrator is one of those titles that you held. Health and Social Services.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
And I'm certainly humbled to have been able to work at Health and Social Services. And I cannot, you know, when you grow up in Tobago, you have to have manners. So this morning I want to say good morning to Mr. Hochoy Charles. Mr. Hochoy Charles.
Good morning to you, Mr. Charles.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Charles. And I'm saying that deliberately because Mr. Charles would have had the vision for that hospital up at Signal Hill. And being the administrator for Health and Social Services, one of the things that stood out at that time in the planning of, we spoke about project planning earlier.
Yes.
In the planning for that hospital was to make that hospital a teaching institution. So it was supposed to be a part of health tourism. So whereas we were probably offered local and international funding for smaller units, Mr. Charles stood out and said, no, this must be an institution like a university. So people should be able to come here and certainly be a part of a teaching hospital. I don't know where that is now because I knew up to about 5 or 6 years ago they were preparing other subsidiary locations so that when people come they would have been able to have, you know, accommodation and so on. But then, you know, a lot of things would have changed over the time. COVID would have been one of those factors that inhibited that particular kind of division development. But I must say that Health and Social Services was indeed a blessing to me. I learned a lot at that institution. You know, it certainly has served me in very good stead.
Yes.
Right? Yes, it has.
And senior economist, I just love that title. Senior economist, Ministry of Housing and Settlements.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that experience.
Yes, that was also a very rewarding experience. I went to that particular ministry at the time when there were a lot of projects relating to, of course, the expansion of housing in Trinidad. So I would have been a part of a lot of the discussions and witnessed some of the implementation of those projects. It was indeed rewarding. Similar to public and utilities where I worked for a while, and I feel a sense of, you know, I wouldn't say shame, but regret to look around now Because I don't know if you know this, Janelle, a lot of those pipes we have in the ground are over 100 years old, you know.
Oh, yes.
Some of those very pipes that we are getting water from, I saw some people exhibiting some of the water coming out of them for a while. The point I want to make is this: there was the plan, even at the time when I was at that ministry, to have a comprehensive change of those main extension, we call it, main replacement and extension program. I cannot tell you that I've seen that to fruition. I cannot tell you that I've seen much of that happen. Probably did, and I didn't see. But that is so very important. So when I listened to the minister, and I was saying, listen, we have a lot of housing development in the places, and we didn't envisage, and the capacity for the current capacity, if you wish, as we say in economics, for water is so very difficult, so we can't get water to everybody. It says a lot about our planning and implementation of some things. Not bashing the government, but we really need to have the forecasting and foresight to be able to cause these things to happen in tandem. So we cannot sit now in the height of the rainy season and say you could only get water 3 days a week. It should not happen. So those are some of the things, and certainly I was a part of the public utilities, as I said, and I look forward to water for all.
Yes.
Right?
Do you think that, because this is a question that I always ask, the policymakers and influencers, do they have, or are they having the relevant discussions with the persons in the field? Do you think that that is happening?
I think they do, but we always have to reflect on demand and supply and limitation. And as you know, the economies of the world are what? Up and down, right? Peaks and troughs.
Yes.
So sometimes the plans are well written, you know, and probably on some shelf for implementation. But what the economic fortunes change. And as those fortunes change, the whole question of implementation now becomes a problem. So that and the petrochem is the same story, you know. You have all the good ideas for your growth and development of these areas, but fortunes change.
Yes.
We're talking about global warming. We're talking about fossil fuels that are not as what? Healthy as they used to be.
Yes.
Right? You're
Not
talking
as
about
healthy.
alternative ways of travel in terms of electrical vehicles and so on. And these things, of course, impact on your planning process. The extent to which you can certainly you may certainly adjust very quickly, sometimes can be a challenge. Okay, so those are some of the nuances, if you will.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you touched on it's more like pros and cons in every aspect of the conversation, because you're saying, okay, yes, we have this, yes, the conversation is moving, but let's try perhaps this approach instead of, making it a point that, okay, this is not going well, we need to do this, we need to do that. And there's a difference. The delivery I'm speaking on, and it makes such a difference when you are tactful in your delivery. And that's what I get from you. Yeah.
And of course, we in economics we call it exogenous factors. Exogenous factors. Factors that are outside of our control. So you might have all the will in the world. You might have all the good intention, but somewhere between there, war starts last week. You know what I'm talking about. And those exogenous factors might well impact on your what? Well-planned and well-intended project. So these are some of the things that I'm sure you will want to take into consideration when planning is taking place. The exogenous. Now, the people on the ground ain't see no exogenous factor. They are going to beat you because you promise, for example, hypothetically, water for all. But on the exogenous factors taking place, and you're not able to deliver in 2020, whatever, they ain't saying that we're going to burn tires because you promised. But we must take into consideration, and a level of temperance must come in some instances because some exogenous factors might impede the implementation process.
Yes, definitely. And well said. Supervision of financial health. What have you not done? That's what I'm alluding to, because supervision of financial health. with regards to procurement
Yes.
and staff development.
Yes.
Just tell us a bit about that.
Well, as you know, the procurement legislation probably about 2 years ago has come into vogue in one of its iterations. And it really speaks to accounting with efficiency and effectiveness for government resources. So in other words, a public officer cannot take the lease or license to do what he wants, how he wants, when he wants with the government resources. The whole question of tendering and procurement procedures, the whole question of proper selecting of a tender package, the whole question of having all the supporting data to justify why you would have gone that route, if you understand what I'm saying. All those are very critical to certainly spending money and accounting for money.
Yes.
And that is what of course, the public service and the public servant. Always remember, and politicians will tell you that particularly when they get in trouble. Politicians don't spend money. Public servants are responsible to account for the public purse.
Yes.
So at every instant, we must, as servants of the government, apply all the rules and regulations. Sometimes it rubs the politicians wrong. But we must adhere to those rules and regulations, because at the end of the day, we are the ones who are called to account for government funds.
And you said it so well.
Yes.
I have nothing else to say, because you said it so well.
Yes.
Before we wrap,
yes,
what would you like to say to the viewers? If you had to leave a positive message or word, what would you say to them today?
I would certainly want to say, and I want to say good morning to the current Chief Secretary, a young, enthusiastic gentleman. I want to say good morning to him. I've met him before. I am not looking for a job, but I want politicians to understand there are still fine minds out there who you can tap on.
Agreed.
I want to say that. There are experiences out there that you want to tap on. Let me tell you something, Janelle. I have worked from Matlot to Cedrus in this country.
Yes.
As an agriculture economist and other things. I've worked all Matlot, I just said it, Matlot to Cedrus, name it, I've been there. Rehabilitation of the state land development projects, I was there. Rehabilitation of roads under the IDP program, I was there.
Yes.
Trying to rehabilitate rice lands in Plumiton, I was there. I'm saying all that to say that there is a resource here in the cranium that don't go with age. You only lose things when you use it.
Yes.
So I will always say I'm not here, and I will do it pro bono. If you ask my advice on things, because I've always said, Chanel, I'm probably taking more time than Tobago has one of the best flavored cocoa in the world. We know that.
Yes.
What is happening to Tobago plantations? I am ashamed. I have about 15 acres in Lansing. I wish I can be able to look and speak to the government and say, let's get together to rehabilitate that.
Definitely.
Because I always say, listen, we can use CPEP and some of those other institutions to help us to start to rehabilitate the agriculture sector. So I really want to say good morning to the government of Tobago, and of course to the Chief Secretary, the Secretary for Agriculture, and all the others. And if you need my input at any stage of your development planning process, I will be ready and willing to help.
Definitely, and well said.
Thank you.
We just want to thank you so much.
Yes.
For finally.
Yes.
You know we were asking for you for a while,
Yes.
Finally sitting with me on the brunch set.
Yes.
I absolutely enjoyed our conversation. I feel that we still have so much more to talk about. So you're gonna have to come back.
If you invite me back, I'll come.
Yeah, you have to come back and really let's delve in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you again.
Man.
And from our family to yours, blessings.
God bless your cause.
Blessings. Yes, cousin.
Bless you.
We're gonna take a break, guys. We're gonna be right back with more brunch at Taste of Tobago.
be in Tobago for Carnival with the award-winning band Fog Angels, Juve and Mass.
You don't know it's your boy Young Brother representing for Fog Angels, Big Bad, Juve and Mass Band.
2 days of excitement, 2 days of jam on the road with Fog Angels, Juve and Mass Band.
Push back, baby. Push back and Fog Angels, baby.
We're Tobago's premium, all-inclusive Juve and Mass Band that consist of costume, free drinks, free food, goodie bags, makeup artist, t-shirt cut designer, pre-party, after-party on the beach, live DJs, biggest artists, 40-foot music trucks, tight security, VIP service on the road, and a decade of experience.
Fog Angels now. Take bamboo, gal. Fog Angels, Juve band. Take bamboo, gal. Ha! Fog Angels, Mass Band.
For your premium all-inclusive packages, check Facebook, Instagram, or visit www.fogangels.com or call 492-9454 or 788-5481. Juve and Mass in Paradise. Play safe, play sexy, play Fog Angels.
Fog Angels make you feel it, feel it.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Wait, I don't even have suit and thing for this wedding. Why getting them things?
Well, the port right over there.
Alright, thanks.
The Port Mall, where the varieties are large from your favorite stores, from restaurants to salons and from clothing stores to jewelry stores, located at Sanctus Hill, Scarborough, Tobago. Telephone number is 868-334-6589.
Wow. I didn't expect to see you here. Look good.
Thanks. It's all because of you and Port Mall. But here now I'm going to out with it. You want to join me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Alright.
Beat the rush and come on down to the Port Mall.
Welcome back to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Oh my. So many things happening in the Tobago space. Oh my gosh, guys. I have so much to tell you. So bear with me. We now go to Carnival. We're going to Mass. And you know, this lady that I'm going to speak with is one of those persons in the field of Carnival, Mass, band, you know, just that whole aspect of being on the road, jumping on the road, and just that creativity coming out. Marcelin Ned joins us, and she is the leader of Marcelin Ned and Associates, of course. Their portrayal for this year, Riches, Jewels of the Niles. So let me just welcome Marcelin to Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so happy to see you. I love when Our sons and daughters are doing wonderful things. And I'm so happy that I'm having the chance to speak with you today. So, Jewels, Riches Jewels of the Nile. I just love that name. Tell me about that concept. How did you come up with that concept for the band?
Well, the name of the band is Jewels of the Niles. This is my second time doing Jewels of the Nile. The first time I did it was in 2004. That's the first time I bought a senior band. So I decided this year for Tobago October Carnival to do it over, but I do it with a twist. So I love history mass, did my research, and I said, here, well, I ain't gonna go into all that depth. So I will just pick the jewels and name the section. Well, really, is my daughter, Romelia Ned. She is what came up with the names of the sections.
So, Romelia?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning to Romelia Ned. Your mom is speaking about you, so I hope you're watching. Coming up with the concept, because the name Richest Jewels of the Nile, it's like magic. It's like you think magical. It's like enchanting. Just the name, and it just speaks to the creativity, that comes out of a Tobago man and woman. And so this is your second time designing for
Yes.
Carnival.
No, I'm in Carnival all my life. I've come from a family of Carnival, the late Wilton Nancis and the late Wilma Bedlow. That is my aunt and my great uncle. And Carnival was dying in Tobago. And we decided here, well, let me come out with something. So I started with Tobago Fest at that time. I did Hawaiians, and from there I just take off.
Right.
And I have not stopped since.
Okay, but let me correct myself. So it's the second time doing
Jewels of the Niles.
Right,
Yes.
but you've been in this for
A
a
very
very
long
long time.
time,
Yeah.
yes.
So you know what you're doing, you know what it takes. What are some of the challenges, though?
Well,
that you face?
the main challenges is getting Tobago people to come out and support we the band leaders with our presentation. That is just the problem, because I'm not expensive. I decided here, well, I'm gonna keep it at a reasonable cost, so that the typical Tobagonian could say, well, okay, I can afford to play with this band.
Right.
You have a wide range. Some people who wants to have themselves closed up. You have your selection, your whole bat suit. You don't have to be in, as I call it, two-piece and fries. You don't need to be in the wire bra. So I have a wide range in my section. So my cost of my costume, I keep the females at 1,500 and the gents at 1,200, and you have a pay plan.
Right.
Right. So if you think and you know that you're coming to pay, you pay a 500 down, and the last payment must be on the day that you're collecting your costumes.
Right. And I love the fact that you have a payment plan, because you're basically reaching everyone where they're at.
Yes.
Some people may not be, and this is reality, some people may not be able to pay the whole fee up front.
And I also have a special where you come with a group of 4 or 5 of you all, and you get something off. So you get this special pack. Also doing Juve. So I include Juve. It's $500. So
Right.
I also include it. If you come as a group, you get something. Also, instead of you paying $2,000, you'll pay something like $1,700 for the
Right.
package.
Yeah, and it's reasonable, a reasonable price range.
Yes, it is.
So it's it's within reach.
Yes.
With the payment plan, with the special, you have because most times you have a group. Most times it's a group of you guys
Yes.
that want to play and just be a part of what's happening. Tell us about some of the sections of your band.
Okay, I have 3 sections. We have River Niles, that's the blue and silver section. So that River Niles depict the jewels of the Nile River. So as I said, it's my daughter will come up with the name, but really and true, it's me and her come up with the doing the costume itself.
Yes, and the
Even though
concept.
I make it, and she said, "Mommy, you have to jump out. You have to come out of the box, the safe zone." And that is how I play with the materials, and then we look at bath suits and things. And then she said, "Well, all right, Mommy, we will come up with the names." She of herself come up with the models. She sourced the models and the photographer, everything. She did that. She and another friend did the makeup, and I just provided the costumes.
Wow.
So she came up with the name. She said, "Mommy, we're going to do the black as riches, that is the wealth of jewels of the Nile."
Right.
And then she said, "Mommy, we'll do red as the fire, that is the flame and the vitality."
Yeah, the vibrance.
The vibrantness.
Yes.
I say, well, okay. Well, for some reason, I'm always attached to red, white, and black. I don't know why. So I just went with the flow, and this is our outcome for this year.
All right. So this section,
That is
fire.
Yes. So this section comes in 3. Well, we didn't get one model for 2 in the sections, but it comes in 3. The black section, you have a high waist, and the red section also you have high waist. For people who wants to hide the tummy and they want to feel more relaxed, so we provide high waist panties for them. You need a whole suit to cover up. You have all of that.
Yeah, and I love the fact my plus size sisters
I
are doing the most.
Well, I take it from myself, because as a plus size myself, well, I lost some weight, but I consider myself representing the plus side women. And I also I like to hide up myself, not to expose. So I think outside the box when I'm doing my costumes at all time for everybody. So nobody's being left out.
Yeah, and I love it. I love that you're catering to basically everybody type.
Yes, I am. I had some ageable person come and say, "Are you customizing?" I said, "Yes, you can get your costume made just like the males." So they say, "All right, we are interested in that, because when you're watching, only seeing and who's at a nakedness." I said, "No, I said I do it for everybody." So don't be surprised that you see some females dressed like the males.
Yeah, definitely. And how do we find you? Give us a telephone contact, social media, if any, because I know the viewers are looking on and they are very interested, because the concern that many people have is that, okay, there's a lot of skin exposed, and so it deters some of us from getting involved.
Well, normally my mass camp is located up at 23 Pigott Street, but I decided to bring it closer to town. So I'm at Gardenside Street, that's wrong by Tiantec Sports Club. You can't miss it.
Yes.
After you come around that big corner, you pass the 2 apartments. The building is next door. You're seeing the banner, plain and blue, a blue banner.
Right.
You won't miss it. The costumes does always be outside. So you're seeing it as you come around that corner and you look up, you're seeing where the mass camp is. So I bring everything in the heart of town.
Right. So they cannot miss it.
They cannot miss it.
Yeah, they can't say, "Oh gosh, my master and she going up in the corner there." And you know how we behave sometimes.
Yes, so I'll bring everything to the people.
Right. And telephone contacts if anyone needs to call.
Okay, well, if anybody needs to meet me, I am at 366-1718. 366-1718. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You name it. I'm on social media. I'm also have my advertisement on 91.9. We have the voice, the voice, and then we have the video itself.
Okay.
So you won't miss it. I even have costumes, some of my costume at Starfish Hotel in Black Rock. Well, I was speaking to other band leader and she was telling me, right wrong Tech corner, there's a band right there. She's doing Juve and Night Mass to come and showcase some of the costumes there.
Right.
But we have an event on this Friday in Scarborough. So we'll be also be showcasing right there also. And there's another event, Canicopia, on the 20th. We will be taking part in Canicopia down at the Buku facility on the 20th, which is next week, Friday. So you all could come on down and you will see everything. You'll see what we have to offer. We'll be doing some giveaways also. So if they come out this Friday in Scarborough on the boardwalk, sorry. So we bring in Carnival on the boardwalk on Friday from about 4 o'clock. We'll be having a little, traditional mass, and we'll be displaying the costumes, giving out flyers, information, having a little giveaway. So anybody will be special and you want to play, just be on that side there and you'll be lucky to get a free costume. Even Juve, because I'm doing Juve also.
Okay.
I'm doing Meet Me at Maury Corner. That is, they say Gina and Dinah. So that's the concept.
That's the concept.
Yes.
That
I did it for
corner.
Carnival this year and everybody loved it. So I decided to bring it out for this October Carnival.
Definitely.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you're reaching so many people. I don't know if you're realizing, but you are actually setting a trend. You're actually, trailblazing. It's like, because even with the costumes, because I'm seeing and I'm looking on, and the way that you are catering, just catering to the various body types, that's a whole other level there. That's a whole big deal right there.
Yes, it is. It's hard work. It's hard work, but you have to think outside the box. You can't think about one set of people all the time. And with Masliner and Associates, I very wide range. I try to cover every single person because, as I said, Tobago people are different. They're special. So you have to treat them in that special way. And I've been doing this, as I say, all my life. So it's almost 24 years now. I'm in the business and doing mass on my own. So you have to know your masqueraders, how they feel. And let me tell you, anybody who plays with Masliner and Associates, you have a wonderful time.
Yes.
You have and we are all inclusive. So you don't have to study, oh gosh, where to eat, where to drink, because I do my own cooking. For now, I have my own catering business.
Right.
I just go out, and so I know what the people want out there. So you don't have to worry about if the food go taste good, what go eat whole day. We having fun. And remember, this carnival is not locking off at 6. It's from 9 to 12. And after you're done jump, there's another event at Shaw Park, Song Fest, that is for the persons who in the carnival costume. So when you're done, jump off the road, we go into Shaw Park and
heading down.
Yes. And you're having your thing to eat and drink there too. So the vibes is nice. You all come on down. People from Trinidad, there was wondering what taking place in Tobago because they wasn't hearing anything.
Right.
We went Trinidad not last week, the week before. THA of themselves had a launch and I took part. I went and gave out flyers and the response was okay. But I think much more needed to be done that people wouldn't be wondering, is there a Tobago Carnival? But we are telling you all, the buzz is in Tobago. Come on down.
Yes, come on down.
Yes.
I absolutely love the excitement as I'm speaking with you, and the excitement is just jumping off of you. What is preparation like?
Well, to tell you the preparation, it's hectic. It is very, very hectic because my production is 3 sections, and then you have females in there. I'm catering for about 200 persons.
Right.
So it is very hectic. And when you watch the type of decor on my costumes, the lot of jewels you have to be put in, it's time, but I'm getting there with all the support from my mom, Ruth Edwards, my sister, Lisa Edwards Wall, my niece, Jamila Edwards, my cousins and them, Yenke Murray and Yenke Murray World Designs. She's the one that did my batsuits.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So she's out there.
Okay.
So I could check Yenke Murray World Design. You don't have to be wondering, oh gosh, nobody in Tobago ain't doing batsuits. So she set up her factory and she's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah. So just give her name again and where can we find her?
Yenke Murray World Design. She is located down at down Canaan side, down, oh my Lord. Excuse me. Silk Cotton Trace. She's located down there. She's very easy to find.
Easy to find, yes.
So all you come on down. Even the bat suits where you're seeing for the juve, she's doing prints. All the prints that you're seeing on my male and my female, she's doing all of that. And we wanted something like that. So she's here to assist Tobago. So all you check her out.
Yes, and I could not have said it better myself. I'm actually so excited. I'm so looking forward to seeing, what you guys have to offer. Richest Jewels of the Niles. Just the name alone is so magical. It's so enchanting, and you really just want to see as it unfolds on the streets for October Carnival.
Yes, well, it's Egyptian. So you could just picture them 3 sections coming down nude. Because you could tell by 2 of the male section, you have it there. You have the Egyptian look. You have the headpiece alone telling. So we will be lit. We'll be lit. As I said, Marcelinette and Associates out there for so much years, and all my masqueraders always have such wonderful fun playing in my band.
Yes.
And I can tell you the lovely headpieces and the back pieces also was done by Miss Janelle Eastman.
Okay, good.
Of New Creation. She's a very talented young lady, and she's not doing anything this year because me and her collaborated last year. And I tell her, I say, hey, I'm going to want that help me do something. And she did, she researched, and boom, she come up with the headpieces.
Right.
And I tell her, I say, yeah, the back pieces and them. You have to help me with that because I have plenty of work, and she have been taking night and day to make sure that everything is top of the line. So it's a collaboration. So we out there, we just need the people and them trickling, come in. You might not have the whole 15, but something could be done and leaving no one behind.
And I love it. And she said it so well. So we just want to thank Marcelin for being with us. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with more Brunch, a taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.
Get ready for the most spectacular carnival experience of 2023. TNT, Marcelin Ned and Associates proudly presents Jewel of the Nile.
I come here for no stand up. I come to party with my hand up.
This carnival season, we're bringing you 3 incredible sections: Riches, Fire, and River Nile. Ladies, dazzle in our stunning female costumes for just $1,500. And gents, get ready to shine in our male costumes at an unbeatable price of $1,200. But that's not all. When you collect your costumes, we're including complimentary cups and the bar to complete your look, all while enjoying mouth-watering food and refreshing drinks. But wait, take it from Junior K. The party doesn't stop there. Join us for the ultimate Juve experience at Meet Me on Murray's Corner. Our Juve package is a steal at only $500, and it includes your costume and a delicious breakfast to fuel your carnival spirit. Find us on Garden Side Street in Scarborough, Tobago, right across the road from TNT Sports Club. You can also connect with us on Instagram Instagram at Maslin Ned and Associates, or give us a call at 366-1718. Trinidad and Tobago, we're road ready and waiting for you to make this Carnival 2023 the most unforgettable one yet. Don't miss out on the Jewel of the Nile experience. Get your costumes now and let's celebrate in style. Terms and conditions apply. Prices and offers subject to change. Carnival fever is in the air, so secure your spot today.
25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is the brunch style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
To Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Oh, my kings and my queens, I just want to thank you so much for staying with us. It has been such a wonderful time just spending time with you. I missed you guys so much. And like I said, Brunch is one of those shows that we touch on so many things. You know, one of those things is educating and also empowering. And so we speak with a very lovely young lady today. She walked through the door and I realized, oh my gosh, Tobago is so small. And I actually know this person. Oh my. Let us welcome from the Fisheries Department, the Division of say it for me.
Long name.
It's long, yes.
I hope I can remember it offhand. I think it's the Department of
Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, Sustainable Development. Yes. Janice Kirk joins us, and Janice hails from our lovely Fisheries Department.
Yes.
Fisheries Service Officer.
Yes.
Did I say it correctly?
Services Officer. Yes.
Right. I wanted to make sure I got it correctly. And you're going to be speaking with us on safety at sea.
Yes,
now, this is so important.
Very much.
Yeah?
Yes. Actually, safety, we don't see safety as, well, I wouldn't say we, but a lot of people don't see safety as a priority. Safety is something that we need to take holistically. it begins long before somebody actually gets on a vessel and goes to sea.
Right.
Now, I would like to consider here for a moment safety. It begins with a mindset. So somebody who decides I want to be a fisherman, what is the mindset? What is the motive to be a fisherman?
Right.
Right? Is it that you know, I didn't do so well in school and I just is like the last resort to, you know, making ends meet? Or is it that somebody sees themselves as a businessman? I am a fisherman, I am a businessman. And a lot of times we don't see that in the industry. Fishermen seeing themselves as entrepreneurs, as businessmen. So you would find that they don't invest in the business of fishing as, let's say, a farmer would or somebody with a store would, right? They don't see themselves from that perspective. So obviously, if you don't see yourself from the perspective of a businessman or someone who is there to gain and to grow in a certain way, then you would not invest in safety in the way that you would. From my years of being in fisheries, and I've been in fisheries for about 12 years. In December would make it 12.
Yes.
I have seen very few fishermen would have taken the route of me being a businessman, and they would have grown, flourished, benefited in a great way. These are the ones that actually invest in safety. I could call a few names: Lance Bigart, my good friend Lance, Mark Chikaran. Good morning, Mark. I hope they are viewing.
Yes.
But they would have invest. Those are the fishermen you will see put on their life jackets as soon as they go on the vessel, say they know they're going to sea, and that's something that's not very much practiced throughout Tobago. So the mindset and the reason for being entering the trade of fishing is very important. One of the other things that needs to be considered before even going on a vessel to go to sea is the design of the vessel. We see a lot of people in the past would have said, well, I was somebody and I know how to build a boat, so I would buy the material and I would try to build the boat for myself. But there is a lot of physics behind the design of the vessel.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the shape of the hull. Remember, on a road, the road is stable, it doesn't move, so the conditions are stable. More stable than in the sea. Now, in the ocean, the current change, the wind changes, and you have that constant change of environment. And so, out of nowhere, a wave can come from the left, from the right, from any direction. And if the vessel is, the hull of the vessel or the design of the vessel is not well put together, then the entire vessel could flip. And there you, in a split second, you are in a situation of, you know, a dangerous situation, a life-threatening situation. So vessel design is important. The type of material you use is important, because at the base, a lot of the fishermen use wood in the fiberglass type vessels. They use wood for the frame, and then you have to know how to layer the fiberglass and all the material, because you want the vessel to be watertight. You don't want at 2 hours into the fishing trip, the vessel starts separating at you. On you in the ocean, and then you have to find your way back inshore in that situation. So design is very important, because sometimes the shape, some people, the bow stem, it is designed to cut through the wave. Some people make it a little too broad, or it depends on the design, the designer of the vessel, and you have to know who to go to. And you have to, of course, there are seasoned fishermen, boat builders that would have been in the trade for a very long time, and they would have known how to adjust based on, you know, their years of experience and the feedback they would have gotten from their customers. And they are the ones that would have gone to, let's say, Canada, for example. Shout out to Joel Hart at this time. He's one of the younger and very good boat builders that I've come into knowing, and he would have done a lot of nice designs, very state-of-the-art designs, and he would have studied that in Canada. All right, so we have boat builders who are very well educated, knowledgeable, and skilled, and so it's advised that those are the ones that you go to get your vessels built. When the vessel is being constructed, the colors that you paint the vessel in is very important.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So in the event that a fisherman gets into difficulty at sea and they are adrift, sometimes we have to engage the air guard and so on to assist in locating them from the air. And if the color of the inside of the vessel is very similar to the water, depending on the light and the color of the water and so on, it might be very difficult to notice. So the color of the vessel is also very important. So the inside, you notice some fishermen, they use colors like pink, you know,
very bright,
yes, and
colors.
contrasting. Yes. All right. And that's before you go to sea. But also education is very important. And as I said before, if you don't see fishing as something important to you and you just jump on a boat and you just want to make $1 at the end of the day, then investing in education, getting to know things like first aid, basic first aid. And with first aid, there are some educational institutions that tailor it specifically to the sea, like the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute, the CFTDI. They tailor their courses specific to marine users, marine entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
We have places like the Marine Safety Training and Consultants Limited. We have in Tobago, the Tobago Sea School, all right? They do courses specific to the marine environment, like Boatmaster 1, Boatmaster 2, pre-sea training.
Right, okay.
Firefighting, specific to, as I said, the marine environment. All right. I actually did a first aid training course recently, and I was so surprised. I didn't know Jarek used to provide first aid training. Yes, and so that was really nice to know. Matter of fact, I would touch on. I could talk about it now. We did series of training with stakeholders recently, in collaboration with Woodside Energy.
Okay.
They would have hired Jarek to do defensive driving for fisherfolk and Red Cross to do first aid. And that's one of the initiatives that our division would have engaged in alongside other stakeholders, Woodside Energy. So we did it in 5 different areas. We had Palatavir, we had Buku, we had Betsy's Hope, Castara, right? And there's one more I don't remember offhand. But we did those 2 trainings with those fisherfolk, right? We had, I think it was 22, 23, forgive me if I peep at my notes.
Yes, oh but, yes, she has notes.
we had done VHF training with the FAO. They would have collaborated with us, and we did training. We would have targeted about 80 fisherfolk, but only 50 would have shown up, and that was a lot of prompting. Now, guys, if you know fisherfolk, they prefer to go to sea and make money than to come out to a training program.
Yeah.
Especially if the training program is all day, or 2 days, or 3 days, right? And it comes back to what I would have said before. Your priority, is it how you view yourself as an entrepreneur, or just here to make money? And investing in knowledge is very important, because it means then that in a certain situation you will be equipped, all right? And I must say at this point, shout out to Mark Jaikaran. I would say that again and again. Mark brought his entire crew to learn first aid.
Yes.
And he brought his first mate and the outboard engine training program, and they learned it. They came the full 3 days and they learned it. And, you know, I admire things like that, because it says to me you are not just thinking about yourself, but the other guy on board. And if anything is to happen, then, you know, at least we both have the knowledge that we could put heads together, or I could do something, you could do something, to ensure that we both reach back to our family safely.
Definitely,
and yes. So I just want to say kudos to those fisherfolk who actually spend time to get the knowledge, the information. Getting to know what the law requires is very important. At our department, and you asked about registration earlier.
Yes.
Registration of your fishing vessel is very important. And at this point, we have just changed well, it started in Trinidad before, but we have just transitioned into the new registration process. It's much longer, but it also, it includes Maritime Services Division. Now, according to law, and this is since in the 1980s, Maritime Services Division is required to register every single vessel operating and owned in Trinidad and Tobago. And now they have included fishing vessels. And if you go long time when you go to the beach, you'll see the vessel, especially in Tobago, TFT, a TFT number on the tip of the bow.
Yes.
Now you would see gradually increasing, you would see two numbers, the TT number at the top and the TFT number at the bottom. That is because they are fulfilling their requirements in terms of registration of vessels. So they have a surveyor that will go out and do their thing, and they would issue a TT number to that vessel. Now, fisheries by law also is required to establish a record of commercial fishing vessels. Now, we would have been doing that all along. TFT for Tobago and different areas in Trinidad, you will see different things. But the TFT number represents the record of Tobago fishing vessels, commercial fishing vessels, and the TTA means Trinidad and Tobago registered fishing vessel.
And we're going to take a break, guys. We're going to be right back with more from Janice. And thank you so much for viewing Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Yes. We'll be right back.
Take your time and ride on the bike. Take your time and ride on the bike. Take your time and ride on the bike and ride on the bike and ride on the bike. She's loving the ambience of my. Somebody call the ambulance with a chick. I just long, I don't really quick. That's why she's loving me. Better when it done, you might walk with a stick. Meanwhile, you bend down, let me see you boom flick. Let me beat it up just like. I know you're loving me. When coming to I like the plenty. Sit on my riding like a Bentley. Full than need to empty. Take your time and ride on the bike. Take your time and ride on the bike and ride on the bike and ride on the bike. 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 Ride on the 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 bike.
25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is a brunch-style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
Back with Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. I was just dubbing my shoulders to the beat there. You guys caught me. Welcome back to Brunch. Oh my gosh, Janice, we left off.
Yes.
And you were giving us some really pertinent information. So I'm just gonna go back to you and let you do what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes. So marine communication is also very important, and learning marine communication is essential, especially to the marina, to the boat user, the sea, the people operating on the sea. Now, for those of us who have ever been in a tragic situation or some situation of sudden panic or something like that, you would know that there's a moment where you black out. You don't know what to do.
Yeah, brain fog.
Right. Right. And you do what's natural for you at that point in time. So I would say this, practicing proper marine communication etiquette and proper navigational etiquette is something that needs to be done from the get-go. So when you practice that every day, when a situation happens at sea, you are well prepared. Even if you're going to a state of panic, then your body knows what to do. You will start, responding in that way. And so I would say there are some fisher folk, I know especially some of those in the Castara region, they make it a habit when they're leaving the landing site, they would radio into the North Coast, the Coast Guard, North Coast. And they would, they would say, I'm going so, I'm leaving at this time, I'm going XYZ. And that is good. But there's a way to communicate on the VHF. And we would have done some training, as I said before, with the ODPM1 and also with the FAO. We would have had a training series with them. And I said before, we went on the break, 50 participants, and I think that was a really good turnout in different locations at different times. I think it was before, let me see, between November 23rd and March 22nd. No, November 23rd in 2022,
right,
and the 22nd of March 2023. Each training session was 3 days, and one of the days they had a practical session, so which was good. They actually got to practice exactly what was taught. And in one special case, the FAO would have given, each person had a handheld radio, but they had to pay for the TAT license and complete the full course before they could get the marine radio, which I thought was really nice because, fishermen, they would say, well, I'll go the first day and try to get the radio.
Yeah. You had to
yes,
go the whole mile.
Everything. Yes. Right. And in this special case, the FAO gave us a base station in Castara, so they got to do the practical at that base station.
Right.
It was really nice. So some of them went out on the boats, and there was a crew in the office where the base station is located, and they got to do the practice in the exact call, the Mayday call.
Yeah,
and
so it was very hands-on.
Yes, very hands-on.
Yes.
They got to do the practice, and I thought that was really good. But what I'm saying is that it needs to be practiced. And this is where I kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but the fishing associations are so important. And sometimes I feel as though a lot of people don't know the roles that the association should be playing. Or maybe the idea behind the association may not have been what maybe our idea of it is. But to help in readiness, preparedness, they play a very key role. And I would say in terms of getting drills, periodic drills set up so that the fishermen could be well prepared, and so that, as I said before, when you are in a situation of trouble, what is inside will come out.
Yes.
So continuous drills so that you would know exactly, the fisher folk will be prepared to know what to do in the event that they go out to sea, and before they know it, some wave, some swell come from somewhere, a wave turn over the boat, and it's because, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. But let me go ahead. So preparing for sea. So we get the boats already, and, we are about to go to sea. There are some things that we need to do.
Definitely.
Right? We young people love to be on the cell phones, and sometimes we would be on the cell phones whole night, and then in the morning you're ready to leave, the cell phone saying 25%.
Yes.
When you're a fisherman, that cannot be so, because there are no branches at sea, there are no charger ports at sea. You can't pull in by Port Mall and charge your phone for 10 minutes and then catch a car to go somewhere. No, There's nothing like that at sea. When you are at sea, you look around, all you see is white and horizon, right? But charging your phone is very important. Yes, we know that the cell ranges reach a certain distance, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, B-Mobile is about 15 miles, I'm not sure. Digicel about 22. I'm not sure if that has changed. But you need to have cell phones. I know that sometimes Depending on where you're located, you can have connectivity to make a call. But having a cell phone, and in some cases you could have a spare battery, all right? A very good colleague of mine taught me something a long time ago. Having a sea bucket is very important. You know, the pigtail buckets, you can screw on the top and screw it right.
Oh, yes.
So plastic is very buoyant in water, and when you have a sealed plastic containment, it will float. No matter what happens, it will float. And so, shout out to Mr. Holmes at this point. I hope he's watching. All right. So in the sea bucket, you could have a spare battery for your cell phone. There are a number of things that could fit in the sea bucket, right? You could have a piece of mirror. Now, the purpose of the piece of mirror, well, you should have a piece of mirror. Of course, the sea is very bright, and you have a reflective surface like a mirror. If you are in distress and a vessel is passing, you can use that to draw attention to yourself for a rescue. You can have you should have a fully charged GPS in your sea bucket. And the purpose of that is, and backup, battery power.
Backup is important.
Backup is important. A compass, because anybody who has been to the beach and something floating, you know that you just turn. When you are in one position, the ocean just turns you around, swings you back, and then after a while you get disoriented. You don't know where north is, you don't know where south is. But of course, if you're in the bay, you know. But at sea, everything is white. You don't have a clue where east, west, north, and south is. And you need a compass. Definitely need a compass.
Right.
Ration is important. Some people don't like to carry food at sea. And I'm not talking about like dumpling and fish. I'm talking about like cricks, something that has extended life, right? Shelf life. Cricks or granola bars or something like that you could have as backup in the event that you get stranded and you have to spend like a day or two, a week at sea. You can, ration, take your time, and you have your energy to keep you going until, all right? Flares are very important because, in the night, the chances are your boat doesn't have a light on it.
Right.
But you could use the flares to signal to a passing vessel, this is where I am. One of the very important things that I would have learned is that shutting off your engine is important, especially if you don't know where you're at or where you're going to. All right. Why is that important? Keeping fuel in your engine, in your gas tank, is very, very, very necessary in the event that you are, let's just say, the engine, you are lost, you have a little fuel, and the chances of starting the engine to move out of the way if a big ship is coming, having that fuel is very important, right? A radar reflector is very important on the vessel, because large ships, little boats, the radar may not pick you up if you don't have a radar reflector. They may not see you, especially if the light is reflecting on the surface of the sea in a certain way, or it's twilight or it's dark, all right? And you need to have something that could identify you on that radar, right? Keeping a sound mind in a situation of tragedy is very, very important.
Oh, yes, very.
We see on war movies, you see the soldiers have cards playing, or they might have a little photo of a family member. It keeps them going. It gives them a reason to keep their mind in that place. I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to live to go home.
Yes.
Right? So having a pack of cards or a photo of a family member, some loved one, is very important.
Oh, yes.
We also advocate to wear, one of the first things before you even start the engine to leave is wear a life jacket. Now, a lot of people don't like to practice wearing the life jacket, and even the purchase of the correct life jacket is important. There are some that are just there as designer pieces, it looks pretty. And there are some that are required by international law.
Yes.
So it's very important to know, to get that knowledge, so that when you purchase your life jacket, and if I'm not mistaken, they have expiration dates. So you have to know when to change your life jacket, because you don't want a situation to come up where you are in the water and the life jacket has long expired and you are expecting to float. but it doesn't happen, right? So yes, the life jacket is very important. And there's a reason the life jacket is usually in international orange. It is because it is easily noticed from a long distance.
Oh.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yes. Right. Having comfortable clothes, not just comfortable clothes, but clothes that covers your skin, long shirt, clothes that covers your legs. The material should be like dry fit material, I think they call it, dry fit, so that it will keep you cool. And having a plastic or a tarpaulin somewhere aboard the vessel, so that if you are stranded during the day, the heat doesn't dehydrate you.
Right.
So you can cover the vessel and you could keep cool in the shade of the tarpaulin. And at night, it will keep you from getting hypothermia.
Yes.
Also, let's see.
What about telling someone where you're going?
Yes, of course, that's very important.
Really important.
A lot of people like to say, you know what, I don't want nobody to know where my fishing ground is because I would get competition at that fishing ground. Or if I have a fad, I don't want nobody to know where my fad is because they would come and catch all the fish around my fad. Right? But it's quite important to say, have a body, or even as I said before, the associations are important. You could mention to someone in the association, member of the association, I'm going XYZ, or somebody you trust. I'm going in this location, by location, GPS location, or sometimes they use markers like of sisters, of Castara, of sisters. They go there to do diving and that kind of thing.
Yes.
So you mention where you're going because it will indicate to someone if you don't show up after a certain while, the time you are expected to show up, then they could say to the Coast Guard or the search and rescue team, the last place he said he was going was of Sisters or 2 miles north of Sisters. So they would know where to start to search.
Yes.
Because they can use the time, they could have an idea based on the time that you were out there and the time you were expected to come back and the flow of the current to know which direction to search. Because remember I said in the ocean, there's not much you could go with based on like a landmark or so. But GPS location, or even if there is a rock or so, at least you could start there and you could follow the tide pattern to know where. And there's very much seasoned fishermen who would know the flow of tide in certain areas. The Coast Guard certainly know, they have an idea of the flow of the tide, the flow of the currents, and it will give them an idea of where to look, all right? So telling someone where you're going, telling a family member where you're going, as I said earlier, radioing in and letting the Coast Guard base know where you're going. That's very important. It gives an idea of where to look in the event that something happens.
And you know, Janice, we want to thank you so much. I know there's so much more we need to talk about, so you know that you have to come back, right? Because there's so much that we did not know about safety at sea, the preparation, what you need to have. And I love the fact that you have it in such order. Guys, she had her notes ready, you know, really doing the most this morning. So we want to thank you so much for coming in.
For having me.
You're most welcomed, and blessings to you from our family to yours.
Thank
We're going to
you.
take a break and we're going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. But before we do that, our trivia question for today: what world-renowned dance was invented right here in Tobago? Get to typing. We want to see what you come up with. We're going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago.
Bad girl from Roxborough to Tobago, but if we go in your day clothes, I rate you. Grew up around good vibes and incense. Grew up in hard times that intense. Shut it as you're reaching at the dance. Use the topic as you're reaching at the dance. My girl, go and drop it as you're reaching at the dance. Making use of your talents when you balance back on the duns. Yes, yes. I know, baby. You want a man who take you serious. Not just beat and leave. You're fed up on the streets. Yes, yes, I know, baby. You want a man who take you serious.
Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I absolutely love my technical crew. Such a wonderful team to be working with. Good morning and blessed morning to you guys. And I'm just a small part of the team that makes it happen right here on Tobago Updates Television Network. Yes, I am actually loving my next guest. I've been waiting a while to speak with him. He is the marketing manager of the Tobago Unified Calypsonians organization. And he's so much more to me. So let me take the time. Let me first welcome Mr. Devon Seals to Brunch.
Hi, good morning.
A Taste of Tobago. Good morning.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Actually, it's the first time I am on Talk Tobago on this channel.
And I have been waiting for a very long time to speak with you. I remember speaking with you very briefly, and what stood out for me was you were so humble. Your humility was such a breath of fresh air. And I took that with me. I did not forget that conversation. And I knew that I would have the chance to speak with you again. So guys, Devon, oh my gosh, Calypso, you are one of the stalwarts, at least to me you are. 2010, 2011, 2012, 2015, a National Calypso Monarch finalist, you know, and of course you won the crown in 2016.
Yes, in 2016.
And you know, that was a very happy day for me. I remember I was watching with my sister, and we were just rooting for Devon Seals to win this thing. Oh my gosh. And you did it. You did it. So Calypso History Month. Let's talk about that. Tell me a bit about what's happening. What can we expect? I'll let you start there.
Right, great. So this Calypso History Month 2023. Normally when we start Calypso History Month, it's the same theme we would use for Carnival. And our theme this year is Reignite the Calypso Magic. That theme is the entire General Council came up with that theme of reigniting the Calypso Magic. And how are we going to reignite the Calypso Magic? We are going to have two powerful shows, two great shows, one in Tobago on the 21st of October and one in Trinidad on the 12th of November. 21st, that would be at Shore Park. And the name of that show is The Legends Legacy. Because we recognize that, you know, in order to create that magic, we have legends, iconic legends such as the Black Stallion, the Merchant, Lord Kitchener, the Rash Shorty Eye, Alwyn Roberts, the Lord Kitchener as well, you know. Shadow from Tobago, Winston Bailey. Yeah, so what we have is that, you know, to reignite that Calypso magic, to honor them, honor the past, and to show that there's some kind of continuity with respect to the legacy of Calypso. The offsprings of these artists will be presenting their music. So we would have Second Star performing Colonel Roberts, the grandson of Black Stalin, which is Kevin Callis. He's also an extempo artist.
Wonderful.
We have Charlon Bailey, the son. Charlon Bailey, the wizard, the son of
Winston
Shadow.
Bailey.
Winston Bailey.
Shadow.
And Second Star, the son of Merchant. And with respect to the black man, Rashoti Eye, we had many to choose from.
Oh, yes.
And representing the family would be Isaac Blackman.
Wonderful. You
Yes.
know, this is such a wonderful initiative. And you know, it goes into what I was having this conversation just this morning about really reigniting that flame and allowing that continuity. Don't wait until it's too late to remember our pioneers and our trailblazers in the art forms and arts and culture and sports and, you know, just everything that makes Trinidad and Tobago great. I was just having that conversation this morning. So what is preparation like for the event, Devon? What's preparation
we had our launch at the Trinidad Hyatt on that would have been last week, Thursday, where we launched the entire 2 shows. We had the artists there and some of the sponsors. And I must say we have to thank the Tobago House of Assembly, because from the time they heard about the show, they came on board and they are fully supporting us. And I should also mention too that on the 21st of October at Shore Park, the show at Shore Park, Tobagonians and all who plan to go to the show, they are going to get a lanyard, because at that same show, we are going to have the Tobago the Tobago Monarch competition. Definitely. So it's a 2-in-1 at that show in Shore Park in Tobago.
And that's now we are... Yeah, go ahead, Devon.
And just listen, the early bird tickets will be $200, special reserve $350. The early bird tickets will be running from now until the end of the week. Yes, reignite. That's our theme. Reignite the Calypso magic.
Yeah, and Calypso History Month. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love this type of celebration. You know, it's celebration of our art and our culture. And you know, Calypso was birthed right here. Our sons and daughters created this wonderful art form from whatever area, whatever slum, whatever community. It was birthed out of that. And you know, Calypso History Month is something that we definitely need to be excited about, is what I'm trying to say.
What is so good in History Month, I would say, for like over the past 15 years. But when we started, it was like nothing. And now today we are so thankful that, you know, most media houses are on board celebrating this Calypso History Month with us. We have artists, they are hosting their own concerts during Calypso History Month. We are also doing, you know, normally we will have our workshops. This year in particular, in the past we would have had our gala celebration, but this year in particular, we decided, you know, let's try something new. This is Legends Legacy. Let us celebrate the past. Let us honor the past, celebrate the present, and look for some kind of building that foundation for some kind of continuity. And that is why we are coming here with our Legends Legacy.
Legends Legacy. And the name is so befitting because they're legends. And there's simply no other way to put that. So just go into, once again, the dates for the shows and the venues, because I know our listeners are waiting. You know, some might have missed what you would have said before. So just go into...
So it's the 21st of October at the Shore Park, Tobago. Showtime 7 p.m. and the Tobago Calypso Monarch as well as Legacy. And let me remind viewers of the artist lineup. We have Second Star. We have Colonel Robert, Alan the Wizard Bailey. We have Kevin Khaleesi, grandson of Black Stallion.
Stalin. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and on the 12th of November at the Hyatt Regency, that is on a Sunday, the 12th of November, that show starts at 5 p.m. Same lineup. And you know, I just have to also mention, so you see, I'm talking about reigniting the Calypso magic. I'm calling all the magic makers there, but there's one in particular that will be our surprise guest.
So I thought you were going to give us a sneak peek there, but he didn't, guys. He went straight to putting us in the shade again. I thought we were going to get it right here, but that did not happen. So Devon, tell me just a bit about what's happening for you. Are you still singing? Are you going to be a part of any celebrations?
I am still singing. I'm looking forward to Carnival 2024, actually. One of my contributions that I would have been performing earlier this year, I did not launch it. So that is one I'll be doing, and I'm in the studio right now doing my second one. So I have two powerful ones for Carnival 2024.
Always.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we look forward to anything that you have to offer. I believe that you are such a wonderful performer, and your content is always so on par. It's always relevant, you know.
My gosh, you're making me blush. You're making me blush.
I'm being honest, because I would have been looking on for a very long time, and it's always very relevant content. It's always catchy,
yes, I love,
lyrics,
I love my
music.
Calypso, yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and you love what you do.
And I enjoy, getting these type of comments, I live for that.
Yes. One of the things that I wanted to ask you before we wrap really quickly, if you had to say something to the viewers right now, something positive, what would you say to our viewers today, Devon?
This is not with respect to Calypso History Month or nothing. I would just say what I always say, and I take my life as an example. I would have been in the Calypso Monarch participating for like over 20 years in the senior category. The Calypso Monarch title, constantly going year after year, sometimes being left out of the semifinals or even the finals. But you see that perseverance, I think perseverance and commitment is key.
And you said it so well.
I must know. Yes. Thank you.
Perseverance, commitment is key. And you guys should take this in whatever sphere you endeavor to be successful in, because it starts with the mind. Your mind has to be ready and willing to accept that, okay, I'm going for this. I'm not going to stop until I get there. So Devon, I just want to thank you so much for being a part of Brunch today. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Any last comments before we wrap?
Thank you for having us. And I look forward to seeing you in Tobago on the 21st of October.
Yes. And you might see me in Trinidad. Who knows? I might try my hand at some Calypso. So you might see me down there. But thank you so much. Thank you once again. Yes, thank you for being a part of Brunch. So blessings to you from our family to yours.
Same here. Take care.
All right, guys. So that's it for me. Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Wow, such a program today. And I want to thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. Before I go, let me just mention our trivia question once again. What world-renowned dance was invented right here in Tobago? Did anybody get it? Let me give you the answer. Limbo. Yes, yes, yes. Limbo, limbo, limbo. I used to be able to limbo. Not so much nowadays, you know, but limbo was created right here on this beautiful island of Tobago. It's one of our many traditions. As you know, we are deeply rooted in African ancestry, and limbo is one of our traditions here on this wonderful island. So just a bit of info for you, just a bit of education for you. You name it, we got it right here on Brunch. And we want to thank you so much for being a part of our show today. See you next time for more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.